Hey folks, Mike here today with some thoughts here on Yakuza 6. So, I just beat the game, did a quick recording test to make sure all of this stuff works well, and as usual, we're going to be doing the premium adventure mode here. In other words, we're going to be playing after all the main story stuff, and we're going to be able to do some little side missions if we wanted. Yeah, if you haven't watched any of the previous videos of the previous games I've done, basically the reason for that is these are story-driven games primarily, and so I don't want to spoil anything, and this is a convenient way for me to show off some bits of gameplay without necessarily spoiling anything. And yeah, with that said, I'm looking through some of the other stuff. Yeah, I don't really have a whole lot of side stuff I can do. So anyways, I've done a bunch of these videos on several of these games so far. They're great games. I've had a lot of fun playing through various Yakuza games. I consider this kind of the final, in air quotes, being that this is the last one where Kiryu is kind of the main character. And yeah, obviously the next game in the franchise, I'll be playing that, but maybe not right now. So yeah, I'm doing a nice little side mission here. Maybe a little bit of a scam going on here, you know. Gotta buy some prepaid gift cards for someone you know very well. Apparently, he wants those numbers. But anyways, yeah, it's a great game. You know, these are story-driven games, like I said. I like this one a lot. You know, it's a nice finale, if you will, for Kiryu and the entire story and whatnot. I think they did a pretty good job with it. It shows, you know, playing all of the games back to back. Obviously the first, you know, Yakuza 0 and Kiwami 1 and 2, they're both more modern games. Kiwami 1 and 2 are more modern versions of the originals. And then from 3 up, you're more or less playing the original games, right? And so you can see a clear evolution over time with these games. And yeah, this one, with the new game engine and all of that, I think it's more fun to play. It doesn't necessarily play better, but I have more fun with it. It feels more modern. You know, the fact that I could just walk in and out of buildings and, you know, drop a marker if I wanted to say, hey, we're gonna go over there next. All sorts of just nice quality of life things, right? And the game just looks so much better. There's occasional cutscenes. They're telling things to know that it actually is a cutscene, but generally it looks pretty seamless. Hey, why are these guys... Okay. I say, why are these guys suddenly no longer thugs? That's funny. But anyways. Yeah, in terms of gameplay, this one here, combat's pretty straightforward. It's got the same problems I've talked about all the other games in the past. Wow, that bike went to space and back. And you know, I say problems, but I don't necessarily mean it's a bad thing necessarily. I'm not someone who spends a lot of time playing brawlers and this kind of stuff, so I never took the effort to learn many of the moves that are available. I learned some of them. I use the same stuff over and over. But there's definitely a lot more things here, as you can see at the bottom. When you look at the descriptions, there's definitely a lot more things available that I just haven't taken advantage of. So, you know, it is what it is. Overall, on the normal difficulty, I've not had problems playing this game. I've always had enough heal items. The game gives you enough chance to pick up more items just in case. And so I've generally done fine in fights, but I've also had to use some heal items here and there. But I never ran close or ran out. That's not to say that, you know, I've got a ton of healing items, only until kind of the end of the game. I would have had a lot of extras. But yeah, I think at least once or twice I might have gotten a little close. Anyways, it should kind of give you an idea of what this is all about. You know, it's got a lot of fun, silly stuff going on, like some of the other games. Kiryu's kind of a... He wants to do the right thing, but he doesn't tend to do it necessarily. You know, he does it his own way. He does it for the greater good, or whatever you want to call it. And sometimes it doesn't take the best actions to get to that, but hey, he always means to be doing the right thing. I don't remember if it's upstairs or downstairs. Into the roof. Oh, you know what? I think there's a ladder I can use to climb directly up instead of going through the inside. So we'll do that. So I've not done the side mission. We'll kind of go through it real quick. Ah, yes. I've been on the roof of this building before, and I've noticed that they had some convenient weapons on the ground. So, you know, this gives you a bit of an idea of some of the side missions. This one... This one's maybe a bit less fun or interesting than some of the other ones, because it's just like, hey, there's scammers, now you're just gonna fight people, right? But sometimes you get more interesting story bits, and they've done a neat thing in this one where some of the there's definitely some missions that I've been through, which is like kind of a multi-part deal, in the sense that, you know, you'll do the mission and then you'll get a second side mission, and then a third, and then maybe a fourth, which is a bit more interesting, right? They don't force you to come back necessarily, or they may force you to come back, but they'll kind of tack on stuff, but not always. Generally they're just throwaway characters and stuff like that. Now here's going to be the fun part. Oh, okay. I was going to say the fun part. The fun part was going to be, hey, he actually wants those cards or something, but... Excellent. Yeah. Almost got scammed. Thankfully we didn't. It's pretty obvious, right? So yeah, real quick, I guess, before I wrap this up, there's really not a whole lot to talk about. I mean, there's tons of side stuff. This game is kind of more ambitious than a lot of them. A lot of the previous ones, they just got so many more systems, right? You got the clan battle stuff, you still have the cabaret clubs you can do. You know, my overall playtime was, yeah, 19 hours, 27 minutes. I did do a new game with the Premium Venture as a new game plus kind of deal real quick, but that didn't change a whole lot. In terms of completion, I guess the awards are kind of the completion. Yeah, these are active ones. So, as you can see, there's still tons of bits you can do, right? Drink stuff from vending machines, pictures, earn certain amounts of money. In terms of battles, this is just doing stuff in battles. Sub-stories, I've only done 11 out of 52, and I've got a couple that I've seen, but you can see here there's still a lot of question marks, as in there's a lot of side stories I didn't even engage, or I didn't even get close to having it begin. The mini games as well, like some of the previous Yakuza games, I've not touched any of it. And then the Clan Creator, I did a tiny bit of it because it was part of one of the story missions, or might have been a side mission to be fair. But yeah, you know, there's a lot of side things like that that I haven't really touched on, which, yeah, it is what it is. I think it's not necessarily a bad thing, right? I played these games for the story primarily, and that's been really, really good and enjoyable. So I think what I'll do here is pause in just a moment after I stop recording, and then I'll pick up the recording immediately after and kind of talk about the Kiryu franchise in a video for next week if you're watching this as it gets uploaded. And so we'll talk about the first 6 games. Again, no spoilers, but kind of my conclusion of the Kiryu franchise, and then might buy me a little bit of time to eventually get into the the next game, Yakuza 7, or Like a Dragon. It's not officially numbered. Anyways, we'll end this here, and see you guys next week as I continue this recording in just a moment.